My name is Reverend Arthur Price. I'm the pastor here at the historic 16th Street Baptist Church. In 1909, a black architect by the name of Wallace Rayfield, who was a member of this church, the only African-American architect in Alabama, designed the church we're sitting in today. And 16th Street Baptist Church had a dual purpose in the Birmingham community. It was a place for spiritual formation and also a place for social recreation. Because in the Jim Crow South, black people could not go to the Alabama Theater, they couldn't go to the Lyric. So if they wanted to have events, they would bring it to the 16th Street Baptist Church because of its central location. But the church is probably most noted for what happened in 1963 when Dr. Fred Shuttlesworth solicited Dr. Martin Luther King to come to Birmingham to desegregate the parks and the schools. But it wasn't until they got the children involved with the Children Crusade that this church was flooded with thousands of kids. Maybe 2,500 kids would meet here, hear Dr. King speak, get instructions, and they would leave the church 50 at a time. And the whole intent was to fill up the jails and to get it on this new invention that was 10 years in the making called television, so that the rest of America could see that there were actually two Americas. He wrote his letter from the Birmingham jail while he was here, and that gave him the impetus to do the March on Washington. So 18 days after the March on Washington, 18 days after Dr. King said, "I have a dream," 18 days after he said he wants his kids to be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin, the response to the I Have a Dream speech in Birmingham was to bomb this church. And the church was bombed September 15th, 1963 at 10:22. It was Youth Sunday, it was after Sunday school. The Sunday school lesson that day was a love that forgives. And it was a lesson that the church was going to live out for the rest of his life. But in the bathroom during that time were four girls who lost their lives: Addie Mae Collins, Denise McNair, Carol Robeson, and Cynthia Wesley. And also Sarah Collins was in the bathroom, the fifth little girl. But when the bomb went off at 10:22, the four that I mentioned earlier lost their lives, and Sarah Collins was blinded in an eye. And we believe that the events that happened here in 1963 galvanized a generation, it motivated a movement, and it made the bitter days of Birmingham better, because in 1964, President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act. So 16th Street Baptist Church was ground zero for change in modern American history. A lot of people in 1963 may not have been for the integration of the races, but I think when the bomb went off, people took a deep introspection and said, we may be against the integration of the races at that time, but what we're not for is murder and terrorism, and that's what it was. It was a murderous and a terroristic act. And literally, it was the bomb that was heard all around the world. So much so that the window that's in the balcony, the stained glass window, which we affectionately call our Wales window, which came from Wales, John Petts, the author, wanted to make sure that the children of Wales could donate to this window. So no one was allowed to donate more than $5 for the project, because he wanted the children to make a contribution. And he wanted to make a daunting statement. He wanted to paint a picture of a black man suffering in the South, just as Jesus did on the cross, with one hand pushing out hatred, the other hand is open for forgiveness. There are bullets going through his chest. There's a spectrum of colors in the background representing the rainbow of nations throughout the world. And the inscription on the window is taken from Matthew 25, when Jesus said, "When you do it to the least of these, you've also done it to me."